So let us discuss about 29th August 2015 newspaper. The first one is with regard to fight against terror. India and United States of America inked a pact on terror database. In this, the countries will share 11,000 terror suspects from the United States. Now, what the United States is asking is the similar reciprocation of the data which is available with Indian agencies. So, in this context, is United States of America is going to provide internet-based data or not, or will it bring in the Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc., which provide for internet-related data under India's control, etc., or not? So these are the questions that still remain. But however, cooperating on information by both the countries is a step forward. And the next thing is another confident launch. So now PSLV is a settled vehicle for India, but India was suffering with GSLV. So in this case, the project is called Cryogenic Upper Stage Project. This is also called simply the CUS project. So the cryogenics means understanding of the properties of the various minerals or metals, etc. at the very low temperatures. So now this is the second launch of GSLV with endogenous cryogenic engine that has proven to be successful. But however, this vehicle is GSLV Mk2 vehicle. It means that it can only carry the weights of satellites less than 2000 kgs. But India is already developing the satellites which are around 4000 kgs. It means that India can financially benefit from these launches. Only India develops the capabilities to have GSLV Mark III. So in this context, India has to, in the meantime, India has to depend on the foreign launches, which is going to cost 500 crore per each launch. And development of extra launch vehicle, that is another challenge, which is launching platform is another challenge. But however, in India, which is poor, with a lot of people who are dependent on the governmental resources, every penny which has been spent by ISRO has to provide benefits to the society. So ISRO, the right direction is ISRO indigenous GSLV development and launching of GSLV D6 or the GSAT 6 into the geostationary orbit. Now more children in school, but very few enter colleges. It talks about the education, the quality of education is one thing, and the prejudices from school to college is the other thing. In India, the enrollment in the schools is around 80%. So now, if you take it, it's around 95% as per the government of India. But however, the dropout rates are also very high. But the continuity in education is decreasing because of the quality of school education. That's the reason why many of the students are not entering into the higher education. So if you compare primary education to higher education, so the number of people who are entering into, it is more than 1:10 times. So in this context, if you want to improve the scalability of the huge population of this country, providing for one or the other form of vocational training makes very important. So in this context, the number of people enrolled into vocational training is less than 5%. So previously in 2001 it was less than 2%, some improvement is there. So the livelihood, unless the employment is improved, livelihoods are created, there is no meaning to the growth. And next is the India and Afghanistan signed first strategic cooperation agreement with India. Now, after the Ghani has become the president in Afghanistan, there is a shift between Afghanistan and Pakistan relations. He also has attended, the Pakistan delegation also attended for the Murree talks, which was coordinated by the Pakistan. And although China is taking an active interest with regard to the affairs of the Afghanistan, so in this context, the talks with the Taliban and reapproachment with the Pakistan and its military that has kept the India away from the Pakistan for a while. That's the reason why the Indian establishment did not show proper interest with regard to the revival of the India-Afghanistan Security Cooperation Agreement. And next is the Naga Accord. You know that the Naga Accord is just a framework agreement, not a complete agreement. So in this context, what has led to a dialogue in Naga, a success in Naga? The first thing is The ceasefire agreement is very strongly implemented for the past 18 years. And second thing, for this implementation, there are many Naga civil society organizations that are very much functioning. Now, in this context, the major challenge which has come up with regard to the Nagas is the racial and ethnic identity, protection of these identities. So, the Nagas feared that these identities will dissolve in the idea of India. So, they wanted to have an independent sovereign nation. Then it was transformed into Greater Nagaland. But India always stressed that the Naga solution will be within the framework of Constitution of India, and sovereignty of India cannot be compromised. So, whatever the framework which has been brought in, one thing, it shall not redistribute or disturb the territories in Northeast, because the Manipur is going to, Manipur, Assam, Meghalaya, they are going to oppose any territorial changes. And the second thing is, the Nagas, they shall not demand again for this particular independence. So in this context, a shared sovereignty and delegation of more powers to Nagas and creating a greater Naga body that will have cultural control over the Nagas distributed across the states. So like these particular solutions are there before the government. So these are the things we need to understand. And next one is, with regard to the Pakistan is becoming a hotbed of terrorism, and it is also promoting the terror elements in India. So it is in long pursued policy of plausible deniability, which is refusing to acknowledge the existence of various underworld dons who are conducted or who are involved with regard to the crime against humanity in Mumbai blasts. So especially the Dawood Ibrahim. So though India has provided for the substantial proof, Pakistan denies the non-existence of that individual in their borders. And the second thing is, the United Nations, in spite of various sanctions, or UN Security Council Resolution 1267, that obligates all the UN members to apprehend the individuals included in the UN sanctions list against the Al-Qaeda. So it means that under UN Security Council Resolution 1267, so the Pakistan has to cooperate with regard to the submission of individuals related to the Al-Qaeda. But Pakistan never followed that particular extent. So in this context, the terrorism was not only threat to India, the policy of Pakistan to cut India or to bleed India by 1,000 cuts is in turn breeding the terrorism in its own backyard, which is going to destabilize the Pakistan itself. So these are the articles related to 29th August 2015. Thank you.